when you're sitting and you're contemplating on how to start the video and you're going in one direction and God says, no, we're going to go in something completely different. So you go, yes, sir. Plot twist. Let's redirect in the direction that he wants us to go. So originally the video was supposed to be about Moses. But the more I was sitting here and going through how to start the video and what it was going to comprise of, I got a different one. So we're going to go into the 12 steps. I know it's kind of interesting that I do believe the last time that I was in here and we was going to go in this, I think I had the same shirt on and I think a different do-rag or bandana on. And it was step 1. Well, we're going into step 2. And I know it's not February yet, but I think this is where God's kind of wanting me to go. In the one where I had the come out of denial, which was the step 1, I had used the plants that's behind me and then a couple of other plants as examples. And he wants me to focus on restoration this morning. So we're going to go into step 2. For the step 2, in the regular one is, in the normal 12-step program is, or the 12 steps is, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Well, the one in the 12 steps of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, step 2 is believe God can restore us to wholeness and realize this power can always be trusted to bring healing and wholeness in our lives. I'm sorry. I had a cat looking straight up above me, so I had to look and see what he was intently looking at. It's a beetle on the ceiling. So anyway, back to step 2, so I don't get distracted again. Believe God can restore us to wholeness and realize this power can always be trusted to bring healing and wholeness in our lives. And the verse that goes with that is, for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Philippians 2:13. And in you're a distraction, buddy. In the 8 principles in the Celebrate Recovery, it's E. Earnestly believe that God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the power to help me recover. Happy are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew 5:4. So the step 2 in the physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, the believe God can restore us to wholeness and realize this power can always be trusted to bring healing and wholeness in our lives. Well, the video that I made, the come out of denial with the plants, I had shared that part of what the problem with the plants behind me was something that I neglected to do, that I neglected to water them. I got distracted by other things going on, and it being the month of December, and I stopped watering them. Well, whenever I started watering them, and the video, they had little bitty small buds on them. Well, as you can see, and I'm going to show you the one that's really, really flowering. As you can see, they are blooming. They are doing what they are supposed to do. And the other one over here that I have, it's got the bloom, but it also has, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's putting blooms on, so that it's continuing to do what God created it to do. That is part of its purpose, is to bloom around this time, and it has to have certain requirements in order for it to bloom. And I just wanted to show that how whenever we partner with God and we work with God and we provide the correct environments for those that are around us, that they will automatically start thriving. They will automatically pick up and, let me rephrase that. If they're broken, actually, I can tie in part of this morning's reading, because that was part of the reading this morning, was that Moses had talked to the Israelites, and in Exodus chapter 6 verse 9, Moses spoke thus to the people of Israel, but they did not listen to Moses because of their broken spirit and harsh slavery. That was where I was going this morning, was I was going to focus on that, and ain't God good? He just kind of tied that whole little situation, because they wouldn't listen because they was so broken in spirit and they was in bondage. And that is part of the recovery programs, not just the substance abuse, but it's all those hurts, habits, and hang-ups that you come into them and you're so broken that you can't hear, you can't see. All you see is the gloom and doom and what you have been put through. But in the programs, God gives you a fresh start. If you just give everything over to Him, come out of denial, let Him know that you realize that you can't do it by yourself, that He ultimately is the one that has the power to restore you and to put you back in right standing. Get off my book, buddy. Thank you. But believe God can restore us to wholeness. And that's what's going on with those flowers back there. Is I've partnered with God, and I'm doing my part in providing the environment for those Christmas cactuses. And it looks like I'm going to have blooms all the way through the middle of February, because I'm linking in and I'm partnering with God, and I'm recognizing that I need to put my part in as well, and realize that I can trust Him. And I also shared another plant during that video that the cats chewed on, and just to show you the difference in it. It was one of these. It was one of these, and it's a ponytail palm, and it's supposed to have long leaves like this, but they have chewed on them, and I've pruned off all the dead, so you can kind of see. This one, it needs water, but it's not as fast growing, and it doesn't recover as quickly as the Christmas cactuses have, because it's a whole different type of plant. It takes longer. So you can see the little, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see that one little bitty one right there, and I got one right there, and it's not a big, huge burst of growth. It's slow growth, and that's just another example. And I brought up a couple of other ones. I'm gonna do some new ones. I had one that, actually, I had plants last year that I planted out in the yard, and I had one left over that I planted in a flower pot, and I put it on my back porch. And my back porch is shaded, and these are the plants that I put in the ground required full sun. Well, this one that I planted it in this pot, and all summer it never got any higher than this, and it had maybe one bloom all summer long. Well, because it was still green and it was in a pot, I brought it inside and I put it downstairs in the basement next to a window. And as you can see, it has doubled in size, and it's actually blooming because I protected it. The ones that are outside in the yard, they're dead. The frost got them, killed them off. But this one, I brought it in, continued watering it, and it's growing. It's thriving. It's doing what it was created to do. And I'm just providing the environment for it to do what God created it to do. And I got one more. This one, I had my neighbor's tree fell over in my yard. Well, I had the tree company come in and cut it up. And I was walking around kind of picking up stuff down there. And I just happened to see this plant, this flower. It's a petunia. It volunteered and came up all by itself. Whenever it came up, it was about that tall. And because it was down there and it was in next to the ditch and next to her fence down there, you couldn't see it. So I went and I got a shovel and I dug it up and I put it in the pot so that way the beauty of it could be enjoyed. It's just not out in the open and it's being wasted. I looked at it as my God wink that God sees and God blesses, and that he shows that he's taken care of, and he's even in the small, just beauty for ashes. That if we're looking for evidence of him, he can be found. He can be trusted. He is a faithful God. He is a good Father. And if we just allow him to come in and guide and direct us, and we are so wired because of our DNA. We are so wired that we have to do everything. We feel like we have to do everything. We have to provide everything. We have to, all the expectations that we have in this life. And whenever we do fully give that surrender of our life over to God, every ounce of our being fights against it. It goes beyond all reason. Whenever you say, okay, God, I'm yours. Wherever, whatever, it goes beyond all reason. And you have some people, they're good intentioned. They have good intentions, but they will shoot down what God's doing in your life in a heartbeat. Not even a heartbeat, just a millisecond, and it's like bang, it's gone. They're insecure, they're jealous, they're greedy, whatever, and you just have to be careful who you allow around you and who you allow to speak into you and your life and what God is doing in your life. You're like a plant that God has planted you here for such a time as this, and just there's a way to thrive. But unfortunately, a lot of us have been stuck in survival for so long that thriving, or what comes natural whenever we're given the correct environment that we're in order to thrive, it's completely foreign. It's like a foreign language. It's hard to understand. It's hard to comprehend because we have been built and pushed and ingrained that we have to follow a certain thing. But with God, he's got great things for you, for us. And it's just letting go. Step one, coming out of denial and knowing that God's got our best interest and giving it over to him. So anyway, that's my video for the day. We're going to let that go, and I'm hoping that it will be my video instead of it getting redirected and tweaked and somebody else taking it and running with it. But I just know that I'm being obedient, and that's all that matters right now. Because whenever I want God at the end of the day to say, you did good. You was obedient, And even though you didn't want to, you followed through. So that's all I want each day, is at the end of the day to know that I have followed His guiding and His directing. And with that, I'm going to end the video. You have a great rest of the day, evening, night, whatever time you're watching this. Know that God loves you. Jesus loves you. He went to the cross for you. He shed His blood. But it's they give you free will to accept it. Accept them into your life. And know that I'm praying for you and that I love you as well. And I will talk to you in another video.